Listen, when a woman needs you more than she's comfortable with, she won't show it the way you think. She won't cling, she won't beg, she won't make it obvious. Instead, she'll do the exact opposite. She'll pull away, she'll act cold, she'll treat you like you're just another guy. But here's what's crazy. There's one specific behavior that reveals she's completely hooked, and 99% of men miss it because it looks like rejection. I'll show you exactly what it is in a minute, but first, you need to understand why she's doing this in the first place. Because if you don't understand what's really happening beneath the surface, you'll lose her. Not because she doesn't care, but because you misread every single signal she's sending. I'm going to show you exactly how to spot when a woman needs you more than she wants to admit, the hidden psychology behind why she pushes you away when she actually wants you closer, and the one counterintuitive move that makes her drop the act completely. Most men do the opposite and push her away forever. By the end of this, you'll understand her better than she understands herself, and you'll know the exact moment to act. Miss it, and she's gone. Nail it, and everything changes. So let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Why she hides how much she needs you, and the shocking reason it has nothing to do with you. The paradox no one talks about. Picture this. She's been texting you constantly, laughing at your jokes, making time for you. Then suddenly, overnight, she goes quiet. Short replies, takes hours to respond, acts like she couldn't care less. You think she lost interest. You think you did something wrong. You think she found someone else. Here's what's actually happening, and this is going to sound backwards. She caught herself needing you, and that absolutely terrified her. Now, stay with me because this gets interesting. There's a psychological phenomenon called vulnerability hangover. It's when someone opens up emotionally, then immediately regrets it and pulls back hard. But here's the part that will blow your mind. The stronger her feelings, the harder she'll push you away. It's not logical, it's survival instinct. When she starts to feel that pull towards you, when she realizes you're becoming important to her, when she catches herself thinking about you at 2 a.m., her brain hits the panic button and her instinct, pull back, create distance, act unbothered. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's one thing she'll do that seems like she doesn't care at all, but it actually means she's obsessed, and I'm going to reveal what it is. You have to understand the psychology first, or you'll misread it completely. This is the paradox. The more she needs you, the less she'll show it. The deeper her feelings, the colder her behavior. And if you react the way most men do, if you chase her when she pulls away, you trigger something in her brain that makes it impossible for her to ever see you romantically again. So, what is this switch, and how do you avoid triggering it? That's coming up. But first, let me show you the childhood programming that's controlling her behavior right now. The childhood wound that's controlling her. Here's what happens to most women between ages 5 and 12. They watch their mother, their aunt, or a woman close to them become emotionally dependent on a man, and they witness what happens next. Maybe he leaves. Maybe he cheats. Maybe he just becomes emotionally unavailable. But the woman they looked up to, she falls apart, and a program gets installed in that little girl's brain. Never need a man that much. Never give him that power. Never be the one who cares more. Fast forward to adulthood. She's attracted to you. She's starting to feel something real, and that old program kicks in. Danger. You're getting too close. You're becoming too important. Pull back now. And here's the twisted part. The more you pursue her when she pulls back, the more you confirm that program. You're proving that needing someone equals losing power. Before I reveal it, let me show you the exact signs that she needs you more than she's letting on. Because if you see these signs and respond wrong, you'll push her away forever. But if you see them and do what I'm about to tell you, she'll drop every defense she has. The 7 signs she's hooked but hiding it. If this is making sense, hit the like button right now because what's coming next is the most important part, and most men quit watching right before they get the answer. Don't be that guy. Here's the first sign, and it's the one that confuses men the most. She creates conflict out of nowhere. Suddenly, she's annoyed at small things. She picks fights over nothing. She questions your decisions. She tests your patience over things that don't matter. Most guys think this means she's losing interest. Dead wrong. This is her way of pushing you away before she gets too attached. She's creating distance on purpose. But here's the crazy part. If you stay calm and don't react, she'll respect you more. But if you do what 95% of men do, if you apologize and try to fix it, something shifts in her brain. She loses attraction instantly, and she doesn't even know why. I'll tell you why in a minute, but first, the second sign. She watches your life obsessively while pretending not to care. She views your stories within 30 seconds. She notices tiny changes in your routine. She asks casual questions that are actually reconnaissance missions. Oh, you were out late last night. Who's that in your picture? You seem different lately. These aren't random observations. She's monitoring your life because you've gotten under her skin, and the more nonchalant she sounds, the more obsessed she actually is. But here's the wild part. If you call her out on it, she'll ghost you. You have to respond in a very specific way. I'll show you how in a bit. Third sign, and this one's subtle. She brings up other women, not to encourage you, but to see if you're available. She's fishing for information, testing your interest, checking if she still has you. And here's the mistake that kills attraction. If you're too quick to reassure her, if you say, "Oh no, you're the only one," she'll lose respect immediately. Why? I'll explain in a second. Fourth sign, she remembers everything you say. Small details from weeks ago, your favorite food, the story you told about your childhood, things you mentioned once in passing. When a woman needs you, she pays attention. She's building a file on you in her mind, even when she acts like she's barely listening. Fifth sign, and this one's powerful. She shows up in your world repeatedly. Same coffee shop, same gym, commenting on your posts, making herself visible. But if you acknowledge it, she'll act like it's pure coincidence. She needs plausible deniability because admitting she's seeking you out would mean admitting she cares. Sixth sign, she tells you about guys who are interested in her. Not because she wants them, but because she wants to see your reaction. Will you get jealous? Will you compete? Will you step up? This is a test, and there's only one response that works. Most men fail it completely. Seventh sign, and this is the big one, the one I mentioned at the start. When she needs you too much, she'll do something that looks like complete indifference. She'll go days without responding. She'll act busy. She'll treat you like you don't matter. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. She's fighting with herself. Half of her wants to text you right now. The other half is terrified of what that means. And there's a 48-hour window where you can flip this entire dynamic. Do nothing, and she convinces herself she doesn't need you. Do too much, and you trigger that attraction kill switch. So what do? That's next. And I'm warning you, this is going to sound completely backwards. The counterintuitive move that changes everything. Here's what every man gets wrong. They see these signs and think, great, now I can pursue harder. Now I can show her I care. Now I can lock this down. Catastrophic mistake. Because the moment you start chasing, you confirm her deepest fear, that she's more invested than you are, that she needs you more than you need her, that she's losing control. And when a woman feels that power imbalance, something happens in her brain. Dopamine drops, oxytocin spikes, and she starts to see you as safe, predictable, and boring. The attraction dies. So what do you do instead? And this is going to sound insane. You pull back slightly, not in a petty way, not to play games, but with genuine outcome independence. Here's the move that breaks her programming. When she pulls back, you don't chase. You match her energy, not out of spite, but because you're genuinely busy living your life. When she creates conflict, you don't get defensive. You stay completely calm. You address the feeling beneath her words, not the words themselves. And here's the key. You have to do it without explaining yourself. The moment you explain, you lose. When she tests you by mentioning other guys, here's what you say. And this line has worked for thousands of men. You say, "That's cool. You should date whoever makes you happy." Wait, what? Wouldn't that push her away? No. Here's why. It shows you're not threatened. You're not competing. You have options. You're not sitting around hoping she picks you. And that flips the switch in her brain. Suddenly, you're the prize. You're the one she might lose. And that changes everything. But here's the thing. This only works if it's authentic. If you're faking confidence, she'll smell it a mile away. If you're pretending you don't care while secretly obsessing, she'll sense the neediness underneath. You actually have to become the kind of man who doesn't need her validation, who's genuinely fine whether she stays or goes, who has a life so full that she's an addition, not the main event. And when you get there, something wild happens. She stops testing. She stops pulling back. She stops acting unbothered because now she's not afraid of losing control. She's afraid of losing you. The final move. Only do this if you see all 7 signs. Now, there's one final move that seals the deal, but timing is everything. Do it too early and you look desperate. Do it too late and she moves on. You wait for her to reach out and she will. Once you've pulled back and built your life, once she sees you're genuinely moving forward, she'll test the waters. A random text, a story reply, hey, how have you been? And here's what 90% of men do wrong. They jump on it. They respond immediately. They pour out their feelings. They try to lock her down. Wrong. Here's what you do instead. You respond, but not right away, not with paragraphs, not with questions that keep the conversation going. You respond with calm, confident brevity. And here's what happens in her brain. She expected you to chase. She expected neediness. She expected you to prove yourself, but you didn't. You stayed grounded, and that creates cognitive dissonance. Wait, why isn't he more excited? Does he not care anymore? Did I wait too long? Who is he busy with? That curiosity becomes obsession, and obsession becomes action. She'll reach out again, more directly this time. And when she does, you know she's ready. Why this works. The psychology. I know this seems manipulative. I know it sounds like game playing, but here's the truth. You're not manipulating her. You're breaking a pattern that's been controlling her since childhood. You're showing her it's safe to need you because you're not going to weaponize that need. You're not going to become needy yourself. You're going to stay grounded no matter what she does. Need is desperate. Want is powerful. And when she feels wanted without feeling pressured, when she feels safe without feeling trapped, she stops hiding how much she needs you too. That's when the walls come down. That's when she stops acting. That's when you see the real her. And that's when something genuine can actually begin. But it only works if you're real, if you've actually done the work, if you've actually become that man. If this is hitting home, drop a comment with the word thank you so I know you're serious about this. And hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping psychology breakdowns like this every single week. For now, watch this.